Podcast. This is Hello guys, welcome on to the Play On Podcast. This is your host Jerry and Jesse. This is episode 91. To start things off, well, we can announce the official debt that Man U have released, and it's reached €1 billion, which is a lot. It's insane to think about that they're working that much in deficit and yet still spending that much in the transfer market.
Yeah, you know the inner workings of how like the Premier League operate, well, how you could operate in the Premier League, right? Well, like deficit for the past 5 years. If like say they don't buy anything this season, they could spend X amount and go into debt with X amount, right? To buy players or something like
Hmm.
that. Is that right?
Yeah,
So they how much are they in
a
deficit?
billion.
1 billion for the past 5 seasons, and I don't even think that's their total debt.
Yeah, that's their that, and then but they've gotten so much around that with the selling of academy players because you know how that's pure profit and that's. But yeah, they've been working with that, and it's basically insane that a club can be $1 billion in debt and yet have spend this much in the transfer market, and yet don't forget they're also going to spend another 2 billion on their new stadium.
Hey man, and they talk about a super league not forming. It's already formed. You know,
Yeah,
it's been formed. But and so that just has to mean that Kobe Mino is definitely leaving the club, right? Like if they're trying to make money, make up
they
some of
can't.
that deficit.
They
Yeah.
said that if it does, they'll turn the supporters around them because of Manu has this culture around them where they have a current streak going on of 88 years of having a academy player in their squad,
So
and
like in their what is it, official 23 roster, someone's always on the bench that's a player or
I think play, not like actually play.
well Kobe Mino doesn't really play like that though.
It still counts.
That's why like he has to at least be on the bench and get some playing time, right?
Yeah, I think yeah. I don't know if it's like it's game time or like starting, but like he's started at least a game. But that's like a tradition they've had since forever, and they've really proud of that. And since Kobe Mino's like their latest like youth academy product that's really shown signs of like being successful or being potentially successful for the club, uh, and especially in the dark times, they're clinging to that hope. So a lot of people have said, like even Paul Scholes has come out and criticized Almiron for not using him and says like he doesn't get the club, we should sack him, and a lot of supporters back him with that. So that's why Almiron has actually rejected all tra letting Kobe Mino leave in January transfer window because he feels like then he loses any leeway that he could possibly have, and he'll just immediately get sacked.
Oh man, but it's tough because I know Mino's not happy about it. He's expressed it.
Hmm.
They said they're gonna do something if they are, but doesn't look like it. I think Amorim's first party maybe hoping that some other academy product comes up that he could actually use because I don't know for some reason he doesn't like him, and I think mine was a pretty decent player. He was young, and I think he could have developed a lot more. But I mean, he was the England squad. He played good. He played decent at the Euros. You can't complain. But again, right? This guy doesn't like him.
Yeah, I just think he doesn't fit the profile that he wants for like like the center midfielders, but he also doesn't have anyone else that's like very talented. Like he's still playing Casemiro there, who we both know his legs are gone. He's not at the level that he used to be.
It's
Couldn't
because
you
he
just get
speaks Portuguese, Jesse. That's why.
Yeah, like, but you could just give a chance to Kobe Mino, but I guess he just doesn't. Because he said he feels like there's aspects of his game that's missing that he needs from him. And then, because they also mentioned like three other Academy products are like highly rated,
Uh-huh.
and he publicly like on an interview he says like, well, yeah, but the other guy is struggling in the under 21s. The other one has really fallen off. Like he like went and just like basically told them all those three they're really struggling currently,
Like
and they're
shut him
how am I?
down instantly.
Yeah, instantly.
That's crazy. Because I mean, coming from the academy, you would expect one to play like Lamine Yamal or like a Nico Pass, like straight off the rip, just start killing it. There's gonna be like growing pains, things that they have to develop. I don't know why he's being so. Well, I can see why he's being so uh
Dismissive?
yeah, dismissive about it. His job is kind of on the line, he's on the hot seat. He has to get this club turned around. He had a bad season last season. I mean, didn't start off too hot right now, but he's at a good place. But I think he just wants to maintain that like good spot, try to get that top four.
Yeah. But it's crazy how so much politics is going on into his job that because it's funny because that's the main talking point for like the past 2 weeks, not the games. Even though like the games are like he's barely scraping by.
Yeah, it's weird because again, Man U's just inconsistent. They played today, which I had no idea they played, and they tied 4-4.
Hmm.
Again, their scoring goals was that, which is the one good thing because Man U could not score goals at all last season. So again, growing pains for them. But like, yeah, we'll see what happens. But Mainu, I wouldn't mind at Barca. Pretty good player, but I don't think we got the money for it at
Yeah,
all.
you guys released your depth too.
Did we? What is it at?
It's more.
No, it's not.
It was 2 billion, 2 point something.
Reduced from what?
I don't know. I remember seeing it because I was like, that's crazy. Let me look it up.
That is crazy. And I just blame the previous administration, bro. Every player was getting like high salaries
Yeah,
instantly. Every transfer we were getting just didn't make sense.
yeah, because I remember I saw it because a Saudi guy was trying to buy Barca.
For 10 billion, right?
Yeah, and that's why they're like that he's willing to take on Barca's debt. Yeah, for 10 billion, and then he'll wipe out. Yeah, according to the report, the bid would account for Barca's estimated 2.5 billion debt.
Well, I think it also has to do with the stadium they just got. They're rebuilding.
Well, yeah, because I think that added like another a billion. It
Yeah, that was a billion there. So,
was like 1.5.
well, I mean, that's what like I think clubs are going towards that a little bit more. I know Real Madrid is like tinkering with that at the moment, like the potential to sell the club because Florentino Perez, I think this is the last year and he's not running for president again. And I have a
Uh,
theory.
he's not selling like full like majority like it'll be like they want us they're thinking about doing it because they're like saying we can't compete with like these clubs that are spending all these money like the Premier League clubs or like Saudi clubs that like have this backing. So because we're both run by socios, and it's not like they give us like, or they give the club like millions of dollars or millions of euros to spend on transfer market. So they'll offer like a stake in the club, like 40 or 60%, either majority or like lesser. But
Mhm.
the associates will still have like like be in there for decisions, and they'll like provide financial backing for the club, not necessarily like take full control.
Well, my theory is that with the reason with all these transfers of Mbappe, Vinicius, Bellingham, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna get someone else. I think he's gonna get another big name. I think the reason Florentino's doing all this is to raise the value of the club, so then they could get a better price whenever they do sell what percentage of it, and yeah, just milk it because be the most recognized team in the world, which I think at the moment they probably are, especially with the players they have. So I think that's why I was telling Tony, my brother's friend, I think that's why they won't sell Vinicius because they need Vinicius to sell more shirts and again to raise the value of the club. And if you do sell Vinicius, you're gonna have to get someone in the same caliber. I think probably the next one is Haaland. So again, it's gonna be an interesting summer if everything does go through like the Vinicius sale because I think they're definitely gonna get someone because even Endrick, the most popular 18-year-old, and he doesn't even play. So
Yeah.
it's all marketing.
I
But
mean, Haaland was flirting with Jude.
yeah, I mean, well, it's all the way around, dude. It's Jude.
Dude, Haaland posted a picture of him and Jude when they were in Dortmund.
Yeah. Do I see him go to Real Madrid though? I don't think so. I say I don't think so, but you never know. Real Madrid players, well, to bring it up, Real Madrid lost 2-1 to Man City in the Champions League during the midweek. Um, Real Madrid fans were speculating that Haaland didn't celebrate when he scored the penalty.
Uh, Yeah, some, but he immediately like cleared up. He's like, it was just a different celebration. Because he
He
says,
was doing the meme.
yeah, he was just doing a different celebration. But he also said like, oh, I don't pre-think or like what I'm gonna do. or what celebration I'm gonna do before like the game. I just do it like whatever comes to my head at that time.
Yeah, he said he was doing the meme of the what's his name, John something dancing on the club.
Yeah.
So he was just nodding his head and smiling. But yeah, what'd you think of that match, Jesse? Real Madrid started off hot, but then they fell flat.
Uh, I feel like it showed uh what I like about Xabi Alonso. He understands that the team or like the players available didn't fit his style, so he brought back Ancelotti's system, and that's where like those players fits well with, like especially with like starting Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinny, like those players suit more counter-attacking than like possession-based football because that's where their skills really shine. Same with Jude, like transition football, that's where they really shine as well. And like with the available players that he had, it is like it didn't fit for me to shoehorn them into the style that again is just contradicting what I want right now and the result that I need. And then also it showed that the players had some fight in them because they were running for like the first time that I've seen them this year with intent. And they were playing really well. They just couldn't finish their chances. And then again, defensive frailties because they did allow good chances for Man City. It was a pretty back and forth game that I think could have gone either way.
Yeah, I feel like Courtois definitely again plays a role into all this. At this point, he's like top three goalkeeper of all time, which is sad to say. Um, Played a huge factor. That penalty, it's funny. People argue it's not a penalty, but again, you let the ref try to make that decision and like go to VAR and all that. So I guess it was a penalty. Um, Cherki was outstanding, and same thing with Doku. They had fantastic games. Doku was just destroying uh Valverde down that wing, or Asensio. I think it was mostly him because Valverde kept pushing up. I love the meme of Rodrigo. He got him just slipping and he would like had his arms down because he fainted going right and went left. And then Cherki just straight up rage baiting Rudiger.
Yeah.
So I think that's what the type of players you do need, and there was a lot of quality. I'm surprised Bernardo Silva's still starting for that Man City squad. He's not the player he was, but
When he
yeah,
crashed into him.
yeah, he did. But I don't know, good game. It was weird because yeah, Real Madrid was still in it for some reason. I feel like Man City could just couldn't get that last final third pass or final third chance.
Well, the second half they really went back into their show. They were playing a low block for the second half, and then they're like going for the counterattack, but they didn't really have that many chances.
Uh-uh.
But yeah, I feel like the game came down to Jude's miss in the early second half. I feel like if he would have gotten the goal, I feel like it could have changed the game because once they went into that low block, it was tough for them to get any chances, especially because they didn't have much help off the bench because there was no defensive or like any help that they could have gotten because of injuries and like situation wise. But Xabi Alonso did go for it. He sent two strikers, took out defenders. He was really going for the win.
Yeah, and then in the weekend, again, he had a crazy task with like the defender he had to use. He had to use an academy player.
Valde,
Uh,
that's his
he
nickname.
he had a good first half. Second half, you could obviously there was like still things he needs to work on, and he was getting exposed. Again, they conceded the goal because of him. He didn't go up further in the line. But again, it's his first start. Pretty sure it's like the first time ever playing with these players ever. So,
Yeah,
maybe
but
even in training.
he's not a left back. He's a center back.
But again, I think he played well just in the second half. I think it was just
Yeah.
maybe tiredness, if anything, because again, he's not used to that level of matches.
Well, I feel like he was, like you said, like he tried to do the offside trap, but he wasn't in sync with like Rudiger and Asensio.
Yeah, that comes
So
with the chemistry and everything.
yeah, so because he tried pulling back while they were still there, so it just left the guy on side, and
Hmm.
so that's where the confusion came from. But he's a good player. I feel like he should get more chances, especially because with lack of center back help, and
Hmm.
he shows promise. Guess what, Jerry? Guess who's trying to get him?
Oh, it's
Arsenal.
they heard about him right away, try to pounce on it. They need
Yeah,
a
dude.
fifth center back, dude. They're gonna line up with five center backs at the back and two as DMs.
Yeah.
But no, I think it was a well-rounded match for him. Um, and surprising, Raul. Xabi Alonso started Rodrigo for the second time, or right?
Uh,
That's the Man City he started, and then this one he started. He didn't
he,
start in the past weekend, right?
he no, but he started like early in the year, and they're like
Hmm.
a rotational thing. Back when him and Vinny like the whole thing started because he rotated the squad and Rodrigo got the start. But yeah, he started a couple games before, but he was also in bad form.
Yeah, Raul, he's a good for, but it's 2 for 2.
Well, yeah, they're saying, well, a lot of words coming out of it is just that there's the squad's also suffering from a lot of physical exhaustion and like a lot of players aren't up to speed and a lot of them are just rushing back trying to help fill the squad's need.
But I was talking to my brother about it yesterday, and I think, obviously, it's weird. Mbappe, I wouldn't say he's the problem, but for Rodrigo and Vinicius to be really good and be in form, I think Mbappe can't play. And same thing with vice versa. If Mbappe, you want him to play really good, I don't think either of those players can play with him. You know?
Well, I think it's either Vinny, Rodrigo, or Mbappe and Rodrigo. Because we've seen Mbappe and Rodrigo play really well together because they
Hmm.
can rotate and things like that. And similar with Vinny and Rodrigo, they rotate, they create space. For some reason, Vinny's willing more to like play centrally and allow Rodrigo be the one to roam around and create. Because with him, you'll notice that he'll play right wing, but he'll go center, he'll go left, but he won't do it with Mbappe. And it just shows that there's a clear distinction. Because even if like Vinny and Mbappe will say like they're really good friends, they just don't mesh well together. I just think it's just a footballing ideals. They just don't go well
Yeah,
with what they want.
yeah. I I think it's still an ego thing. I think they both want to be the main man and they refuse to let it go. Because it kind of shows how like the team operates. Um, like Mbappe could easily create a chance, like the first goal in the weekend against Alaves. He just created that chance out of nowhere and scored. And then the second goal for Real Madrid, which is just straight up combination between Vinny and Rodrigo. They just understand each other. Vinny's gonna go to the left, go play all the way down to the line, and just cross it into Rodrigo, who's making a late run into the box and tapping. So yeah, it's crazy, but I think ultimately Mbappe's gonna take over. Like he has to, right? There's no shot that they brought him over and then be like, yeah, we're not gonna make you the main guy. Plus, he's like just so dangerous as a player.
Mm. Plus, it helps that he's getting all these goals, even though when they're both playing together, like he's got so many goals, like and like the numbers just speak for themselves that like the headlines are being made and there's like what I mean like look at the headline Mbappe dependency like it's not Vinny dependency it's like it's
And
being chosen.
even though Vinny and Rodrigo are the ones that's pretty much got him out that jam of being tied 1-1. It's crazy, right? It's still Mbappe's name. I know it has to hurt him. Again, if they have egos, which more than likely they do, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
I liked what I saw on the weekend because I feel like the players finally trust in Xabi Alonso, and he's like decided that you know what, I gotta just do what I have to do with tinkering. I feel like he switched to the mode when he got to Bayern Leverkusen the first year where he's like, my cell's not gonna work. I just have to survive, and I feel like he's got into the survival mode where he's like doing just trying to get the points that's needed and get the squad to like trust him to be able to build up to that style later if it's possible.
And as a Barca fan, this is probably the best result that we could have asked for. Because if they would have fired him, God knows what would have happened. They probably would have gotten a coach that just straight up plays and straight up Ancelotti ball. Because I think not Rodrigo. Oh my God, why do I want to keep saying Rodrigo? Xabi Alonso eventually is gonna start taking Guardiola's advice and start pissing with his own. Um, but yeah, and it's crazy because the commentator said that if Xabi Alonso would have gotten fired, name they already have in mind is Solari. But I was thinking Solari also got fired in December, so why would they want to him as an interim?
Well, Solari got fired because he was an interim for Lopetegui. Because Lopetegui got fired early in the year, then went to Solari, and Solari was god awful. But he has a lot of friends on the board because he's currently on the board again after having an unsuccessful spell with Club America in Mexico. And
Mhm.
so he's like I don't understand why they would want that. It's just that he's so friendly with the board. But then he got fired because of the results, and then they brought back Zidane. It got that bad that they had to beg Zidane, who had just retired or like decided to take a break, to come in, save the squad at the midpoint.
I don't know. At one point, I did want Xabi Alonso to get fired, but then at the same time, I think it's best if he doesn't because it just builds more frustration as inside the team if they start losing or dropping points, you know? And then more blame gets put out, more outbursts. It's a whole drama, dude. We're all in it for the drama ultimately.
I mean, you would know Barca's drama.
Oh, and they always are, dude. They should have been there with Kike said at the end. I'm pretty sure there was a couple of Twitter hires because of Barca Twitter.
Yeah.
There was Kike Setien was definitely one of them, but I think there was a Sampaoli push at one point, but we didn't get him. That makes sense. But yeah, that was the last time they ever heard about Twitter. Like I don't know. But yeah, speaking of Barca, they won their match against Frankfurt. Frankfurt fans still made their way into the stadium. I don't know how
Yeah,
they
it's a
do
big
it.
surprise, Jerry. Big surprise. I
Dude, they
called it.
they travel all the damn time.
I told you they were gonna get travel wall.
So yeah, they conceded right away, and of course, it's the only guy that's left on the squad that faced Barca in the Europa League, and he's the one that scored. He scored in the Europa League match, and now he scored
No,
on this one.
yeah, it's good. He's quick.
So it just started ghost haunting us again. But luckily we got the win with Jules Koundé two set piece goals, I believe.
No.
One of them was a set piece goal
I think the first one was. The second one was. I think it was a cross from
from Rashford.
Lamine. Was it Rashford or Lamine?
I think it was Rashford.
Or was that the weekend?
There was a Rashford one. But oh man, it was tough because the game wasn't done, and I think Barca is still lacking somewhat of finishing issues. I don't know. I think it just started, but again, I think it's our ghosts from our past Champions Leagues that are just haunting us. But this is all we needed was points because there was a lot of points dropped as well.
Yeah. It
And
was.
then
It was.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it was a close one. I was like, it's funny because Jules Koundé was out of form, and a lot of players were, or a lot of people were calling for him to be benched, and he came in saving the day.
Yeah, I think it probably brought him back some confidence. People are saying that he was depressed, but of course this is just speculation. But again, it probably brought him back confidence. He did play well in the weekend as well, against oh my God, who am I thinking of?
Osasuna?
Osasuna. And Osasuna, speaking of a deep block, they had a deep block and we could not break that until the second half. But yeah, we ended up winning that match too, and a clean sheet as well.
Yeah, but speaking of Lamine, you before when I said I like when my players aren't happy when they get out, and you said you disagree with that. That happened with Lamine. He wasn't happy with getting subbed out.
Yeah, I still don't agree with it. Why are you getting mad when there's like 5 minutes left? You
Hmm.
have another game in the weekend that you're more than likely going to start, and you did, and you played the full 90. So I still don't agree why you're getting mad. For you to be in the last 5 minutes on the pitch, like it doesn't make sense to me. Especially during that time, like at the 90th minute or whatever he got subbed out.
Hmm.
Like more than likely you're just killing time, you know? So it doesn't make sense to me. I am mad about it. I think he's being a little selfish when it comes to playing as well, because he keeps looking for his goal. But I think the best trait right now he has is like being such a playmaker. And I think he get yeah, I think he could get like 20 plus assists this season in La Liga alone if he would pass the ball more in the final third.
Is that a worrying sign though that his ego and selfishness is growing a lot, especially this year? Because we haven't seen that the past 2 years.
Um, there is a slight worry, but I think Hansi Flick can handle it. And same thing with Rafinha. He kind of took over the role as captain since Araujo's like hiatus. He went
Yeah, went
to
to Jerusalem.
Jerusalem, dude, for a spiritual awakening. It's just crazy. But yeah, I
Well,
think he's done with the club, but that's another story. But yeah, I think Rafinha will get him in order. Because yeah, that doesn't make sense. Like, bro, why are you getting mad? It's 5 minutes left.
but doesn't that cause problems because that's his main competition? for the
Oh,
Ballon
Rafinha?
d'Oro. Yeah, for the Ballon d'Oro.
No, I think Rafinha is kind of out of it because he was out for 2 months, or like he missed an extended period of time. So his Ballon d'Oro run would have to be incredible, score multiple goals, get a bunch of assists, be a huge difference maker. I think Lamine Yamal will probably be ahead of him. But again, if he is thinking Ballon d'Oro, he's not competition and not passing the ball because of that, that'll be dumb.
Because that's what happened last year. Like a lot of votes were split between the two, and maybe he sees it that way that oh, this is if he might take away, or like he's taking away my votes for this title or this award.
Maybe. And it still doesn't make sense. Like for me, if Lamine Yamal is thinking that, like if I pass the ball, that's one extra assist if the guy scores. It's an assist for me, you know?
Mm.
Just pad your stats, dude. Pad your stats. But even then, Lamine Yamal, like remember last season, what was his natural trait? Cut to the left and hit it top bins. He hasn't been doing that much. He's been inconsistent at hitting that.
Well, yeah, he's still recovering from his pubalgia, which he hasn't really had the like extended time off to like fully recover the athleticism and speed. Like that's why I don't know, like this is the first time we've seen Masantuono in like a month and a half because Real Madrid let him rest because he's been available for the past 3 games, but they said no, we're just waiting for you to get like to full fitness because pubalgia is like one of those things that it lingers and it's like tough to get rid of unless you like fully rest.
Yeah, that's why I can't wait for this winter break because they have like pretty much what a month off. But Lamine Yamal has slowly been getting his like speed back, which is good. But yeah, his take-ons are great. But again, after like the third guy is like, bro, pass the ball. That's just me though. But again, if anyone's able to do it, he can. So after all this La Liga talk, Barca still remains on top with what, 4 point difference?
Yeah, I'd say the same. Nothing changed
Yeah, but
from last one.
Barca on top, Madrid second, Villarreal third, and Atletico Madrid fourth, right?
Yep. That's because we play 2 extra games.
Yes, sir. And as
Because
far
we
as, wait, go
because
ahead.
we got the Super Copa coming up, and then after this, well, next is Copa del Rey, and then we have the Super Copa in January where we have to go to Saudi to play it
So technically, Villarreal can be second, right?
second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
yeah, we're all three of us are ahead, and Athletic Club because we have to travel during the January, so we got some games ahead.
And the Champions League table is actually lining up pretty well. Arsenal sadly got their win against Club Brugge. They pulled it off.
Yeah, I blame that they fired their coach because why?
Bayern Munich beats Sporting. So thank you, Bayern Munich, for dropping points for Sporting. Because now they went from like eighth place all the way down to 14th because of those drop points. Man City's well, PSG's in third and they drew actually.
Yep, goal
It's
difference.
yeah, no one expected that. Man City's in fourth, Atalanta's in fifth, Inter in sixth. Real Madrid's still in the top eight after losing to City in seventh. Atletico Madrid in eighth as well, technically, because they're all tied with points. And they're in eighth place with 12 points as well.
Hmm.
Sadly, my Barcelona's at 15th. But I think a lot of matches are winnable. Again, Arsenal still has to face Inter. I'm not gonna go over it right now, but yeah, there's so many points available. Top eight still gonna face each other, and luckily we have a pretty good schedule. Oh man, what are your thoughts on the Champions League so far?
I think it's interesting. I know a lot of people are saying it's better than the old group stage because there's like more matchups that people see as like big teams are going up against each other more. I feel like in some aspects I get it, but it's also like it's just a lot more games for the players. And that's the one thing I don't like. Like I feel like I enjoyed the straightforwardness of the group stage where we understand what was needed to get through and then we didn't have to, uh travel as much and play as many games. I
Yeah,
feel like that's changed it. But I
yeah,
do appreciate some of the like the matches.
Yeah, I like the format. I think it's been successful. There's a lot at stake because a lot of the matches have yeah, matter. I think right now the threshold is to guarantee at least a playoff is a minimum of 12 points. So that aspect is cool. One team that has been very bad this Champions League is Napoli, which I expected more from.
Dude, I told you Benfica was gonna win.
I know, man. I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on with Napoli. I think it's just they're not used to the Champions League, I guess. But were they there last season?
They should have.
But yeah, I don't know.
You
They're just playing
um
really bad. Again, surprising. We talked about it, I think, last episode too. Like Dortmund is up there in the top eight. Well, they're up there in the top. I think they just recently they drew, so they dropped down to 10. But they've been a surprise team, and again, we didn't expect anything from them.
yeah, I feel like they've been better in Champions League than they have been in the league. Because I know in the league, I think they're like fourth
Would you give Dortmund's
and up
like
there.
good performance in Champions League because of their matchups? So they face Athletic Club, Copenhagen, Man
Yeah,
City's the only loss.
that can help because if you get a favorable draw, it's very clear cut to get away. And there's a lot of teams that have like tougher draws, and especially some teams also the distance travel does not help because some teams are like very in their area, like they don't travel a lot. Like some like Europe's very small, so like they don't have to travel a lot. But then there's other clubs that have to travel all the way to Pakistan for a game. Like
Yeah,
people talk about like the teams traveling to Pakistan, but like imagine the team from Pakistan, they have to fly all over like to Europe every week or
I'm sure
like
the
every
players
other
don't
week.
mind it though.
Yeah, I, yeah, but that's got to be tough on them as well.
Yeah, definitely. Let's cut it here.
Yep.